trust only in the Force.
How's it going, everybody? My name is JJ, the Real Smooth Gamer 3664, and what you just saw there was the trailer for the newest Star Wars game, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Honestly, this game looks really amazing, and in this video, we're going to be diving deep into all the aspects about the game that was revealed at Star Wars Celebration Chicago, because I am actually in the comfort of my own home again. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So let's talk about the story of the game, where it takes place, what's happening in the story. So it takes place almost immediately following the events of Order 66, and that it takes place in between Episode 3 and Episode 4, like right after Episode 3, where Vader and the Inquisitors are hunting down the remaining Jedi, and you'll be playing as a Jedi Padawan whose master was killed during Order 66, and he's been laying low for a few months, maybe a couple of years, and he's like living on the streets. You know, he can't really use his force powers, or else he'll be discovered, and he actually gets discovered by the Empire, and so the Empire sends out an Inquisitor who is the second sister. And if you don't know what an Inquisitor is, one, you've been living under a rock your entire life, and two, I'll briefly explain. The Inquisitors are a special elite group of Force users who were previously Jedi Temple guards, but have since been transformed into hunting down and killing the remaining Jedi, assisting Vader in Order 66. So yeah, she is the main antagonist of the game, and you've been caught by her, and you're gonna have to fight. I'm assuming you're gonna have to fight her and increasingly waves of villains and stuff. And so yeah. Now let's move on to the gameplay elements. An executive at Respawn did say this in a press conference. Many Star Wars fans, ourselves included, are really interested in the dark times, so we wanted to explore that mysterious, dangerous period. The team at Lucasfilm have been amazing collaborators, helping us explore and further develop this part of the timeline where the Empire is at the height of its power, and any remaining Jedi are in hiding. Within this narrative, we've crafted a game with intense yet thoughtful and fun melee combat, using the lightsaber and force powers, allowing anybody to fulfill their Jedi fantasy. Now that does actually sound incredibly fun to me. I'm really glad that they're going to a place we've never seen before, and they're actually telling an original story in these really dark times. Hopefully it won't be obviously I'm sure it's going to be rated T for teen or something, but I really don't want it to be too lighthearted or too dark, because I do like that, that balance of Star Wars fun, but I am glad that they are going down this route with evil and a little more a little darker tone than most Star Wars games that we've actually seen. But Respawn also wants you to know that they love lightsaber battles just as much as you do. From the same press release, an executive from Respawn has given us a little taste of what that means for Jedi Fallen Order's gameplay, calling it thoughtful combat, which is really interesting. I'll get into that in a second, and saying it's an easy-to-learn, lifetime-to-master affair. And I quote, "Players will use their Jedi training to create different melee combinations with innovative lightsaber combat system and force abilities. Players will also use traversal and other platforming abilities to strategically overcome opponents and solve puzzles in their path across this galaxy-spanning adventure." According to Respawn, it's not just Cal, the main character, who will be growing. Your lightsaber will be evolving in its own right over the course of the game as well, and although details are kind of sparse on what that means, perhaps it'll be something similar to, I don't know, the Force Unleashed games, where you can transfer kyber crystals and customize your own look and powers of the lightsaber and force powers and things like that. So I don't really know what thoughtful combat means. I'm going to assume that it means it's not just button mashing. You actually you maybe actually have to think you have to really think it through. You can't really just like I said, you can't really just button mash. And it also mentioned like lifetime to master gameplay, so I'm sure the gameplay might be a little more difficult than within the lightsaber combat we've seen in like games like Star Wars Battlefront. And it also brings up another really good point about like how we'll use our training to create like new lightsabers, which like I said could be really cool, like the Force Unleashed and things like that. So I am super hyped for that as well. Now, what are my thoughts on this whole thing? Honestly, I'm really excited. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys, but it's single player only, and there's going to be absolutely no microtransactions anytime between the launch and the end of the game. Like, no microtransactions ever, which really has me excited. And the story sounds incredible. You guys might not know this, but they have brought writers from the Clone Wars, Rebels, books, and other pieces of Star Wars media all come together to write the story for this game, which is just really extremely like exciting to me. Like, the trailer looked amazing, everything looked so good, and I'm really super excited for the story Respawn is trying to tell. Like, and they have a really impressive developer team as well. Devs from Uncharted, devs from Uncharted, the Titanfall games, Apex Legends, other Star Wars games, and even some Call of Duty developers have all come together to work on this game. So their dev team does have a very impressive resume, I must say. But all of this is just so incredibly exciting, and it just gets me more and more hyped for the game. Now, it's going to be releasing on November 15th, so, and if they'll probably have an early access period as well, and I'll maybe be playing it. I'll maybe be playing it at EA Play for you guys. So this whole thing is really exciting, and I'm super pumped. So yeah, my name is JJ, the Real Smooth Gamer 3664. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. May the Force be with you, and peace!